Hi
Jeff.
everybody. Yeah, hi everybody. This is Kevin, and today I've got a very special person that's going to have a chat with me, and that is, as you can see on there, it's Jeff Kellison away in America. How you doing, Jeff?
I'm doing very well this morning, Kevin.
Good.
How are you?
That's great. I'm not bad, thanks. I'm not bad. So you're back on the road, Jeff. So tell us whereabouts. Well, not back on the road as such, but where are you heading off to?
I'm actually leaving probably sometime this afternoon or early in the morning. I'm going over to Moxie, Washington, and I'm picking up a load of zinc, which they use to make slug killer.
Oh,
And
right.
I'm taking it to where did they tell me? It was somewhere in North Dakota.
Okay, cool. And how long will that take you to do that run?
I'll probably make it over to Moses Lake tomorrow afternoon, and then the next day I'll make it into eastern Montana, and then the next day I'll probably make it all the way there.
Oh, cool. Okay. Jeff, now tell everybody, how long have you been a trucker in America?
I've worked for the company that I work for now about 14 years. Before that, I worked in a steel mill. I did destructive testing.
Okay, cool. So let's get a little bit of a background of where you're originally from and what your other careers have been like.
Let's see. I was born in Chico, California, and my father worked in construction, and we moved all over.
Okay.
I went to 3 different schools in 1 year once. I probably spent the bulk majority of my growing up years in Seaside, Oregon. And I was a park ranger. I actually was a park ranger at the state park where they filmed the movie Goonies.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah.
And I worked on the oil production platforms to go to the North Slope. I did that. I worked for Atlantic Richfield, a wonderful company. I worked for Morrison Knudsen. I spent a great deal of time working for Birmingham Steel. Of course, they're out of business now.
Right. Yeah. As a lot of steel companies are.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's the same right across the world. But you've had quite a when you've been on the road trucking, you go all across the states, don't you?
Yeah, the only state I can't go to is Rhode Island because with a 53-foot trailer, you need a special permit.
Ah, right, okay. But you haul all sorts of loads, don't you?
I do. Probably the bulk majority of what I haul is probably farm chemicals, and we do a lot of Sherwin Williams, much to your glee, probably.
Yeah. But you love to stop off at different places, and you've got a very interesting little pastime, haven't you?
Yeah, I there's definitely places that I like to stop. One of my favorite places, of course, is Mount Shasta. I shared pictures of Mount Shasta once on the Vogue show. And that's probably that area, that volcanic area of Southern Oregon, Northern California is probably my favorite.
Yeah. And what's your hobby you like to do? If you know what I'm hinting at.
My hobby?
Where you like to sit in a river or a stream?
Oh, my gold panning. Yes, I do like to gold pan. That's one of my favorite things to do. I never really, when I was growing up, I had an uncle, and he always used to talk about gold panning, and he claimed he made incredible amounts of money. And I kind of grew up hearing these tales, and so I kind of, in the last few years, have gotten into it. I really like gold panning, and I think I'm fairly good at it, but no one's going to get rich. I mean, the TV shows are wonderful, but it's not reality, especially not here in the lower 48 states, maybe Alaska or Siberia, maybe, but.
Mm. Well, I do remember seeing a video that you did a couple of 3 months ago, and seeing you sit on your stool in the middle of the river or the stream, and you're panning for gold was a lovely setting to see.
Yeah, that was in northern Nevada, right where the river flowed out of the mountains. There's kind of a funny story with that. I knew where I wanted to go, and I went there, and I dug up my gold pan and everything, and I set up, and I went and I dug around all of the large stones, and I got my pan full and all that, and I began filming. Well, as I was clearing the residual junk out of the pan, I was shocked how much gold there was in there. If you watch the video, I was like, "There's gold in here." It was, it was quite humorous. I was not expecting to find as much as I did that day. Yeah,
and you sort of collect it up over a period of time, don't you? And then you cash it in, so to speak.
Yeah, I actually, my plan was, I had sent the video to Mr. Vobes, and I had the gold that I had panned that day all in a vial, and I was gonna send it to him so that he had the video and the gold at the same time, and he could say at the end of it, he could say, "Well, and here's the gold." But it didn't work out that way. But it's still. It's still, I thought maybe that they would enjoy seeing the actual gold that I panned in the video.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, yeah. So as you say, you're not going to be able to retire any day soon on it then?
You know, there's so many things I would like to do. I probably won't be gold painting anytime soon because this time of year they send us to the northern tier states with farm chemicals, and unless I want to chip through the ice. But I would like to come over there. I would like to. I don't know. We'll just have to see what happens. We'll just have to see what happens after. I think things will get better. You know. People are beginning to see that things need to be done for this to go away, and that's beginning to happen. So it'll turn around.
Yeah, let's keep our fingers crossed on that, Jeff. You know, it's very important that we get this right before, you know, we start doing too much and too quickly, because, you know, there's lives being lost all the time at the moment. But let's not go down that route at the moment. It's a divisive subject, and yeah, it's. But you also said to me, because you and I have spoken on the phone a few times, and we email each other quite regularly. But I think you said you at one time you had a ranch somewhere, didn't you?
Yeah, Northern California.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had 11 acres. I had a couple of horses, 8 cows, a couple dozen chickens, some ducks.
So you. A bit of a varied life, really, you've had, haven't you?
That was kind of my hide from society time of my life. I think some people see when they go through a dramatic change in their life, like divorce or death in the family or whatever. Some people are just like, okay, well, you know, that's the past, and they go on. For me, when I got divorced, it was a year before I left the house.
Yeah, it does affect people in different ways. And, you know, I'm divorced as well. And I have been now for, oh, blimey, let me think, 12 or 13, 14 years perhaps. I've not been able to, you know, I can remember my ex-wife and I always saying, you know, we'd love to have grandchildren so that we can take them out and, you know, visit different places. But unfortunately, Julie and I can't do that as a couple now. So that is a huge regret I've got. Because we've got, you know, there is a wonderful grandchild, Jack, and he's a very smart, you know, 8.5-year-old, and he'll probably, if he was here now, he'd probably say, "No, Granddad, I'm not 8.5, I'm 8 3/4." So, but that's what kids do. So yeah, there are regrets from all this sort of thing, you know. And I've not been able to settle down with anybody since, unfortunately. I've got some very close friends, family, and stuff like that. But you know, perhaps one day somebody will come along and I'll be able to settle down again.
Well, you know, I have Pete now, so that's
Yeah,
for
yeah,
those of you who don't know, Pete is a sock monkey that travels with me. My sister gave him to me.
yeah.
She told me, she said, Jeff, that's all the responsibility you can handle. So,
Which sister was that, Darla?
Darla, yeah.
That's Darla. Yeah, yeah. And how I know you've been home recently, haven't you? How are your sisters?
Everybody's good. I'm actually talking to you from the driveway because I go to areas that are, you know, Chicago and San Francisco and Los Angeles and all that. When I come here, I don't really go and we keep our distance. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I know you said to me some time ago you didn't think at one time you were going to be getting home much before Christmas, but I know you wanted to get home for the presidential elections, didn't you?
yeah, I wanted to come home and vote. And also, I think there was a lot of us that kind of wondered what the future would be after the election.
Yeah,
So it was kind of a situation of, you know, be here long enough to make sure that it was okay to leave, I guess.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, you know, you obviously you keep in touch with your sisters, don't you? But there's nothing better than actually getting home and seeing them face to face to make sure that the family's okay.
Yeah, it is. And, you know, this is kind of my base that I work out of. It would be stupid for me to keep a house because in normal times before the coronavirus, I would come home here for 10 days every 2 months.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's like having a car. It would be stupid for me to have a car because of the expense involved. So I have my scooters, you know, which I have two scooters. They cost $20 each a year to insure. And, you know, I put $3 worth of fuel in one last year and I think 5 in the other.
Mm-hmm.
So.
But this is, again, this is a hobby of yours, isn't it? Your scooters.
Yeah. I have one that I built completely from scratch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's you know, when you get home, you need to be able to do something. I know you're always doing jobs for your around the house and things like that, but to have something a little bit extra to do, I know you sort of you really take care of your scooters and you've put them into hibernation and everything, haven't you?
Yeah, I do, and I build a few computers every now and then. That's something else that I enjoy, and I also I restore vintage watches. I have quite a collection of Rolexes and old Illinois railroad watches, and pretty much any watch you can think of, I own at least one, unless it's the really crazy ones. So I'm not in that economic bracket, but
Yes. Yeah. Well, I've got sitting in a cabinet just behind me here, I've got a pocket watch, which my father gave me before he passed away. And that was his father's, so my grandfather's. But it was my grandfather's uncle's pocket watch, I believe. It's on a chain and it opens up front and back, and then you can open up the insides. There's no huge value to the pocket watch, but it's just something that I love to look at from time to time.
I gave George Temperley, is that his name?
Yeah, George Timperley, yeah.
I gave him a watch that I had restored. It was an Illinois. It was a bun special. With his interest in railroads, I gave him an American Railroad watch. It is an absolutely exquisite watch. I hope he enjoys it.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, for those who don't know, Jeff and I got in contact through a group called the Bald Explorer Group, which is run by a chap called Richard Vobes, and George Timperley is part of that group. So, you know, there's a big following in that particular group. So that's how Jeff knows George, and then that's how Jeff and I have become acquainted and become friends.
Yeah, I missed George's videos. I don't know what happened, but I guess he's at that age where he's probably discovered girls and forgotten about the camera, I guess.
Well, I think I've seen one or two Facebook posts where he seems to be collecting a huge amount of bicycles, and he seems to be doing them up. So I don't know whether he does them up to sell or whether he just likes to fill up the back garden.
That kid's going to be famous someday. He doesn't spend a whole lot of time just sitting around.
No, he doesn't. No, he's always out and about and doing something, isn't he? He's amazing, amazing. Yeah, look, Jeff, I don't know. I can't find on my screen how long we've actually got left on here, and I think we must be fairly running short of time on here because we only get 35 minutes. I think we've had 30 minutes. So I think what we'll do is we'll actually wind this up now, and perhaps when you're out on the road somewhere, we'll do another call and we'll have another chat with you then.
That would be wonderful. Yeah. I travel to some interesting places, places that probably people would like to see.
Oh yeah, we'd love to.
Yeah. I would be more than happy to do that.
That'd be brilliant, Jeff. Jeff, look, when you get back on the road, have a very safe journey, and you and I will speak again on the phone at some point. So, but I love the backdrop to where you're sitting with the different coloured leaves in the trees. It's fantastic.
Yeah, this is the front yard. It's a very beautiful maple tree that seems to really like where it is. It's absolutely a wonderful canopy in the summertime to sit out and have dinner.
Yeah, yeah, lovely. Okay, Jeff. Well, look, take care. Give my regards to Darla and Tammy, and we'll catch up with you again. So, bye bye for now.
Bye.
Bye bye.